Hey everyone, it is Maddox Wild this time, and I'm gonna Quinn Cater, and I'm gonna talk about my drag um, transition and performance, what I like about it, what it means to me, what it doesn't mean to me, and I'll start with my name, and that's Maddox Wild. I was really stressed out about the name. Like, if you had to pick a name, like what would you pick? And everyone said, just let the name come to you. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I was at work, and one of my coworkers goes, "Oh my gosh, check out this dude's name," and it was Dick Wild, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny," and I was like, "Oh, I like the last name Wild, and I've always liked the name Maddox." So that's where Maddox Wild came from. Was inspiration out of the obscure. So I started drag about a year ago, but there really wasn't any market for it here in Sioux Falls. There was maybe one king that was doing it, but they were really into cosplay more, meaning that they did like a lot of character reenactments with makeup and just in that genre, not necessarily drag performance exclusively. So I connected with them, and I just kind of put out some feelers with one of our queens here that was like, "Hey, let's get a scene going up. Let's start a group." And so last year I started the Drag Kingdom of South Dakota, and within, I think, my gosh, a month, we had about 6 performers confirmed for our first ever All King Drag show that happened last January. And it was so well received that our local newspaper, the Argus Leader, covered it, and a couple other news outlets, the TV outlets. So it definitely was something that was refreshing to hear that they had interest in, so much so that they did stories on it. So, what is drag? Well, it kind of depends on who you ask. But for me, what I define my drag performance and persona is identity expression. It's a way for me to express my different energies in a very healthy, energetic way and to make people smile. It does not mean that I want to be a man. It doesn't mean that I want to transition. It doesn't mean that I want to remove any parts or add any parts. It just means that I like to be energetic with people and give people a good experience. Um, I never pictured myself as the drag king. I didn't rule it out, but it just wasn't something I thought that, oh, hey, I'm going to do that. I found inspiration though through not only the queens, but through the kings too in the larger cities, getting exposure to them, seeing them perform and thinking, I could do that. That looks like a lot of fun. And so that's how my drag career started, was just being inspired by those around me. And I'm a firm believer in creating your own experiences and leading by example. I knew that I couldn't have been the only one that wanted to possibly do drag and experience that performance art. And so that was another reason why I wanted to start it, to maybe bring in people and give them opportunities. Because if there's no opportunity to begin with, then there's no opportunity to pursue it. And so that was a big reason why I started it. My character is full of energy. He does gymnastics. I do go by he. And he, Maddox Wild, took the crown last week. I'm so excited to say at this year's 2019 Black Hills Baby Ball. It was a competition 4 hours away, still in the state of South Dakota. But I finished first, and I'm so, so proud of it. A lot of makeup went into it, a lot of costuming, and a lot of dance moves and choreography. And at the end of the day, it was a really good performance to highlight the wonderful entertainers that make drag wonderful. And South Dakota definitely has a market for it. And you'd be surprised at how many people came out. So like I said, drag doesn't necessarily mean that I want to become a man or embrace any of the features of male masculinity. For me, it's about self-expression and it's about entertainment. And drag has given me a wonderful opportunity to travel, which I really love to do. And it's provided me with a brotherhood, which I didn't ever think I'd have. So I now have 6 close brothers that I can talk to about performances, day-to-day stuff. We all cheer each other on regardless. It's a really good support system because we all know how difficult it can be. So thank you for all the support and encouragement from everybody who's either attended a drag show or has been curious about when I encourage them. They're a lot of fun. everything from Maddox Wild. See you in a little bit.